My mum walked past and saw a pamphlet on a window, and then me and her had a bit of a squabble because I was like, come on, there's not going to be a riding club in Brixton. And then eventually we realised, oh wait, there is definitely horses in Brixton. We walked past the stable and we're like, oh, I'm getting involved right now. I'm from Peckham, so South East London. I got involved in horses sort of from an early age. I just loved animals and horses in general. My background, my parents, they both immigrated to London 27 years ago. My dad works as a handyman and my mum stays at home. She's a stay-at-home mum. I have a brother and a sister. I have two brothers and one sister. I rode out in the country, like my parents would drive me, it would be like an hour, but it would be like once a month. It wouldn't be often at all, and I didn't know much about horses apart from getting on them, walking and trotting around, sometimes occasionally a little bit of a canter, and I'm like, ooh. Actually, to be fair, I didn't canter until I got involved with Ebony, and then I started properly getting involved with horses at Ebony at age 12-ish. It took a while to actually become a member because there's quite a long waiting list at that time, but when I did, it was like, it sort of just accelerated my riding, and I actually developed as a rider, and now I know how to ride properly. I've been doing competitions, trips, got to know people. Yeah, it's been great. It's definitely weird when you take photos and you see all the, council flats in the background and the train lines. It's quite busy. Like, it's difficult sometimes with riding because there's also the horses get quite sensitive about sounds and noises, and there's always like sirens of police cars going by, and I reckon the horses get used to it, but sometimes new horses come in and out, and yeah, it's sometimes a bit difficult, but it's quite cool. I think it gives a USP to the riding club. I used to watch my brother because he was into racing beforehand, a year before me, and I didn't really necessarily think that I'd ever get involved. But then the opportunity to race came along, and I was like, you know what, let's try it.
A year and a half ago on the opening show, we played out a feature about the Ebony Horse Club from ITV Regional News, and on the back of it, it really touched all of us who were in the studio and hopefully a lot of people watching. And Mick Fitzgerald and I said, once the show finished, like, we've got to go and see what they're all about, and it's such a great club that we turned up, and then they very kindly asked me to be a patron. I've been down there a number of times now. I've seen firsthand the brilliant work they do for the local community and wider than that. And where it is, it's in the middle of like 4 tower blocks in inner city Brixton. So you're driving around, you'd never know it sort of existed, and then you get there and it's very small, but it's hugely important. It's an important story to tell, I think, because it shows through Khadijah's attitude and ambition that anything is possible. And Khadijah, she's 18, she's just done her A-levels, she was doing Ramadan, she was flat out basically, and we said, look, there's this challenge or this opportunity, if you like, do you fancy it? She was like, yeah, 100%, and she's literally given it 100% from day one. And seeing her now, from where we were on the start, it's been something that I'm incredibly proud of her for doing it. And she is honestly a superstar. She's class, she's intelligent, she's ambitious, she's determined. She's a very good rider now, and the development in terms of her riding, which is arguably the most important thing, is huge, but she's handled everything so well. Like, I honestly couldn't be prouder of her.
I feel like the whole jockey world is massively underrepresented. It takes a lot of time and effort, and it's quite like, essentially jockeys are very much athletes in the same respect to other sort of athletes, because the fitness assessment was brutal, and there are quite a few, like one of the women I did in the fitness assessment with just did not pass. Like, it's quite cutthroat and it is difficult, and I feel like I've spoken to my friends like, oh, you just sit on the horse and like look pretty and stuff. I'm like, that's absolutely not the case. Do not get me mad. Like, it is really difficult. I have to say, the fitness side there's a lot, and it's just not really covered at all. Racehorses, I found out the difficult way, are completely different to normal school horses. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it was terrifying because I didn't understand them, and obviously not understanding something brings a certain element of panic and fear because they just weren't responding to what I thought they would respond to. And obviously with time I understood racehorses a bit more, and now I get on now and know what I'm doing, and I'm not panicking because I'm like, you know what, if this happens, you know, I know what to do. The first horse I sat on was called High Silver with Chris Wall, and it didn't quite go to plan. Went up sort of like, in my mind, 1,000,000 miles per hour, and overtook a couple of people, and yeah, it wasn't too great. But now that I've got more experience, I've got more control, and I'm not too. I'd say that I'm getting the hang of it now. I feel like once you ride a racehorse, pretty much any other horse is easy peasy. I think racehorses are as hard as it gets. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty pumped, and the nervous sort of bit of the race hasn't kicked in yet, but there's a little bit of me that's like, come first, obviously. But if I do win, it's going to be monumental. But I'm not going to be disappointed if I don't come first, because yeah, life goes on. It's an amazing experience in itself.
And as you can see, they are much more exotic than the colours that the jockeys would normally wear in a race here at Goodwood. 12 runners then, and they're coming out onto the course for this year's running of the Magnolia Cup.
And they're off, and a very bad start for Tyrian Star at the back of the field, loses a lot of ground. Harrod's Hero is one of the first to begin, with Charles Stanley in the blue headgear and Peckham close up as well. And then Khadijah Mellah not too far behind them on Haverland. Coming down the near side is the Magic Sign, or now on the far side in a noseband with Land Filly as well. Further back then, Scottish Blade and Rosie Tapner would be in about 7th or 8th position as they run down the hill. So up ahead, Land Filly is right there with the Magic Sign, and also on the right still Charles Stanley in the blue headgear. Coming through with a little bit of a run is Gallant Trade as well in the blue cap. Harrod's Hero is still right there as well. Black Beauty on the far side, and in behind them Haverland travels well as they head on towards the final furlong now. Quite an open looking race. Gallant Trade coming through, Haverland on the stand side. Still right there is the Magic Sign. The Magic Sign and Harrod's Hero and Land Filly as well. Haverland is getting there with every stride on the near side. The grey Clubber's Company runs on well far side, but it might have been Haverland near side. Clubber's Company on the far side, and not far behind them was Land Filly. It was tight.
Here is the results of this year's Magnolia Cup. First, number 7.
I mean, if you look around now and you hear the cheer that she got and you see how much interest is on her, even before the race, whatever happened, whether she won, lost, whatever, and there's not really losers in the Magnolia Cup, but whatever happened today, she had won already by walking out and standing alongside some inspirational women. In her own right, she's become an inspirational woman, and for her to win is, I mean, me and Chad's still going to cry now. It's all right, man. It's great. It's really great. Yeah, it's really, yeah, I mean, yeah, it was amazing. It was, I was watching it and I actually thought, have we jocked Frankie Dettori up for this ride? She's sat in behind and then weaved through and just gave him a little push. And because the winning line in the Magnolia Cup is different to the normal winning line, I was looking at the normal winning line going, oh no, there's a bit of time and all that. But then they said in the trucks, because I was with the ITV cameramen at the time, and they said, oh, they think she's won. So then I was sort of hoping, and I've been on the wrong side of photo finishes many times in my life, but thankfully when it mattered most, the horse, yeah.
I cannot even put into words how proud I am. She's been doing her A-levels at the same time, you know? These other people that she's racing against have got the luxury to take time off work and pay for experts and what have you, and she's 18. It's just incredible. You just know when Khadijah's in at Ebony Horse Club, you know, she'll work hard, she'll want to learn, she'll help out with the staff, she'll help out with the younger kids, and I just love spending time with her, and I'm so proud of her.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulating now the winner of the Magnolia Cup, the Goodwood Ladies Race, Khadijah Mellah.
I just hear the thundering of the hooves, that sort of set me off, and like the kickback from the horses in front of me, that sort of got me going a bit. Nothing can sort of prepare you for the speed, and also like the movement of the horse underneath you. It's a bit weird. Like you can, I haven't got used to it yet. Obviously, many of the jockeys have, but to me, it's still like a bit nerve-wracking. And yeah, but definitely an experience that I think everyone should try out at least once. All I want to sort of like push forward is ambition and like drive. If you have ambition, that doesn't matter who you are. With the right sort of attitude and support, you can do amazing, and that's all I want to sort of like say to everyone.